Okay, here we go. Let's do a fair and honest review of Star Trek Legends, the Auto Battler. I think, you know what? Let's go over the good stuff first. And there is a lot of good. Listen to this and tell me what you think. There is no pay to win. You heard me correct. I'm not drunk. There's no pay to win. The cartoon graphics, they're cute and they look good. You got all of the characters in the Star Trek movies and everything. It's a lot of fun. There, I don't know how many characters there are, but there's so many. So anyway, thank God for that. The game is only $15 and there's no pay to win. Now, I just spent over $70 on Skull and Bones, and that money is down the drain. This game is $15. The PvP is quick, easy to understand, and it's a lot of fun. Now, what I'm about to mention is a really big deal. If you've played Raid Shadow Legends, Marvel Strike Force, or whatever else you've played, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, you know how important 4x speed is when you put the fighting on automatic. This game is 4x. Raid Shadow Legends tried to tell us for the last few years that they don't have the technology to do 3x or 4x, and if they did, it would ruin the game. Well, this little Star Trek game has 4x, and that is gigantic because your time and my time is very valuable. Next, most of the legendaries are very good. Not all of them, but most of them are very good. In Raid Shadow Legends, how many legendaries was I able to unlock that were absolute garbage, completely unplayable, and the frustration over that? In this game, most of the legendaries are really good. We'll take a tiny break here and talk about God's grace. I remember I had been single since forever, and I was not even looking for a woman. In fact, I gave up years and years earlier. But he sent grace, and I said hello to Tristan on the internet, and we were married a year and a half later. Everything is grace, so there will be no boasting in heaven. Listen to this one about the game. This is mind-boggling. You can play as much as you want. There's no energy in the game. There's no gasoline like you have to spend in car racing games. There's no resource like in Raid Shadow Legends that you have to spend to play. And when you're out of the resources in Marvel Strike Force or Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, you can't play for the next 6 or 7 hours. In this game, you can play as much as you want. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? There's no resource. I was sitting here playing the game while I was studying videos, while I was praying to the Lord, while I was doing all kinds of other things. You can play as much as you want. It's got these really cool space shuttles that you can send out and get you valuable resources. And the game is so generous on rewards. I mean, they are really generous. Listen to this one. It has alliances. This cheap little rinky-dink game has alliances. There's no alliances in Suicide Squad. Of course, you can form a group with your friends. I know that. There's no alliances in Skull and Bones. There's no alliances in Enshrouded. There was no alliances in Nightingale as far as I know. This game has alliances. How come the developers can do alliances in this game, but in so many of the other games, They don't put in alliances. They don't put in alliance chat. They don't put in alliance wars. They don't put in alliance rewards. Well, guess what? Star Wars Legends has all of that. Last but not least, the survival mode is fantastic. Before I go over the negative, if you need grace, ask the Lord and humble yourself. Go before his throne of grace and humble yourself before him and ask him. Now let's go over the negative. I don't see any way where I can change my name in the game. There's not enough PvP information. The developers abandoned the game when it was in Apple iOS. From what I understand, one or more of the developers came back, is working on the game, and released it in Steam for the PC computer. Do I believe there is a developer working on the game? I do, because they're fixing little tiny things that were broke last week. Guess what? They're being fixed right now. That's the only negative there is. For $15, if you are a Star Trek fan, this is a automatic purchase. If you like sci-fi, get it. If you love auto battlers, get it. If you don't like Star Trek, you don't like auto battlers, stay away from the game. All right. We need the Lord's grace, so we have to go before his throne, humble ourselves more, and humbly ask him for his help, which is grace. Amen.